Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Blue-Red Delver with Predict. So we can use Predict to potentially draw 2 cards if we know the top card of our deck, or if we get lucky and guess it. And we have several ways of knowing the top card of our deck, thanks to Mishra's Bauble, thanks to Dragon Rage Chandler, even thanks to Delver of Secrets, which does reveal the top card to you. So we are a straight Delver deck, no green here. We've cut green in favor of just being more aggressive. We've got a lot of Chain Lightnings. We've got these 2 Predicts. We are playing the 3 Murktides. We're playing 2 Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower is so good right now. And we are going to burn our opponents to the ground with these Chain Lightnings. Let's talk about the sideboard. So we have a Hydroblast here for red matchups. We've got 3 Pyroblast for blue matchups. We've got 3 Consign. I don't know why the number's not showing for Eldrazi. And this is the real reason to be playing Delver right now. 2 Price of Progress. Pop goes the Eldrazi player. We've got 2 Abrade, which are very good against Chalice of the Void. We've got 3 Grafdigger's Cage. Frankly, it's just too strong against a lot of the strategies we're likely to encounter, such as Blue-Red Reanimator, Oops All Spells, Dredge. This card just shuts those down. It's also incidentally good if we run into like a Nadu Zenith deck or any Green Sun Zenith. You can put one in. You can bring one in against Mystic Forge combo 2, which I've played against like 3 times in the past 24 hours. A lot of people are playing it. So this deck should be really straightforward. It's a pretty linear deck, but we do have tons of disruption and interaction, and we can potentially shut down the combo decks as well as racing the aggro decks. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against I Need a Soda. Might as well go for a soda. Nobody hurts, nobody cries, nobody dies. This seems like a solid grip against a likely aggro player. We can hopefully get Dragon Rage Chandler Delirious fairly quickly. One thing I didn't mention during the deck tech is adding Predict and cutting Questing Druid. Ooh. Yeah, we can't counter that, unfortunately. So this is Goblins, most likely. They even got like this cool foily. I've got the foil animation disabled because it drives me crazy. Just like I've got all the sounds disabled. Okay, this is too many lands for my liking, but we're just going to start dropping. Oh, and I have a surveil land in here too, because we were able to cut one of the duels, so I do actually have a Thundering Falls, which is nice. So we're going to drop this guy, this gal, and then next turn we're going to drop another one, and we're going to bolt them, and we're going to get double surveil, and then, you know, who knows, maybe we do hit Delirium. I'm definitely going to bring in a Braid here. This is like a perfect matchup for bringing in a Braid. It would be sad if they had the explosives munitions engineer or whatever it's called. Okay, they don't have that apparently. Shirk Prospector. That is a legit bolt target. I'm not going to be bolting their face. I'm going to be bolting their creatures. As much as I would like to be bolting their face. Wasteland does slow their roll a little bit, but I think we don't have the ability to waste anyway, and they've already got this Vial out. I'm just going to go ahead and get my red here. Shirk Prospector can enable pretty degenerate things, like Muxus very early. If we kill this, it's possible they have like some card that they're going to sack it and just produce the mana, but I want to get some surveil triggers here. Daze goes to the yard. It's terrible right now. I mean, it does pair with Force, but Force is not good. We want to Brainstorm it away. I'll keep a Brainstorm if they show me a Brainstorm. What are my ladies going to show me? Another Daze. I'm not interested. Okay. So we're going to be able to attack for 1. It is possible that they have a Lackey that they're going to drop in. We could just hold back just to ensure we have Lackey covered. That's not the Delver way. Because I'm just fearful that like they violin Lackey and then they blow up one of our creatures and we're dead. I'm going to be chill. I'm not going to go for the 1 damage. It's counterintuitive, but yeah. DRC blocking. Who would have thought? She never studied math in school because math is for blockers, and she is not a blocker. She is an attacker. She's very much out of her element. She's having that nightmare where you have to go back to high school math and you've like forgotten everything. And it's the big exam day and you have not prepared even a little bit. And there's a big presentation right after the exam in front of all your peers. This hand is terrible. I'm very glad to have dodged those dazes, but I am worried about what's to come. They didn't have Lackey. That's nice. 3 mana. Matron. Okay. They can search for something nasty that they can put in the vial, off of Vial right now. If they kill one of the Darcys, it does make the other Darcy closer to Delirium. Not quite there. I do think this is a good matchup, but our draw was not spectacular for this. And maybe my keep wasn't great. Yeah, there's Munitions Expert. That's what I was fearing. If they can hit one of them. They have generated some value, but it's still sad to see them go. All right. This hits this, and then we hit that, and then their mana is seriously crimped. I like it. We can get a surveil off of this as well. Brainstorm is precisely what we need to fix this hand. I'm going to keep it. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and waste. I'm tempted to waste the black, but I think we just waste this. Yeah, because, I mean, we don't want to counterable Muxus and stuff later. If they attack, I'm not going to block. She's just kind of dangling out here, pretty vulnerable. Brainstorm will do a lot, though, because we're going to put back at least one land. We'll probably put back a Force, because they're going to have the Vial back online. Oh, yeah, we're definitely putting back the Force. Please don't kill my Darcy. 3 mana. Oh, well, Darcy is probably going to die. We're taking a lot of damage here. We're taking 4, but they can throw and do more if they want. They can just throw the Matron right in our face. If they don't throw, that's almost kind of scarier, because that tells me that their hand has lots of other things that they want to do later that involve a lot of creatures. Yep. I think that's totally defensible. All right. So let's brainstorm and fix this hand. We're looking for Merc. We have lots of cards we can put back here. Okay, there's a Merc. I don't want the days, but I don't want these lands at all. I'm going to put these back. Merc is going to be a 6/6. Not really big enough, unfortunately. It cannot survive. Well, it can survive a broadside throwing Goblin Matron, but it can't survive much else. No, wait. It can be a 7/7. I'm going to make it a 7/7. I'm not going to mess around. I would love to grab the surveil land here. I'm just going to grab a... I mean, it's possible they like tap out of this. I don't think they're likely to have... Yeah, I'm going to grab the island just as a precaution, just in case they have a... Okay, so we're going to... In case they have a Blood Moon, let me complete my sentences. Okay, so we're just taking these out of the graveyard. Okay, I don't think this Murktide is likely to go the distance, but it is a game piece that is in play, which is more than I can say for our Darcys that bit the dust. Pour one out for them. They should attack. This tells me they probably don't have a good throw. I mean, they can throw for 5, and they are racing us. I have to find a bolt of some form, stat. There's the Vial. I could force this, but I think it's pretty bad this late in the game. Like, they could throw this at us, but I'd rather hold on to this for something that actually does something. It means something. Okay, another Vial. So they've got plenty of ammo for their broadside. Okay, they're throwing that. All right. We need to get rid of this stat. Like, we're in serious danger. Next turn, they can hit us for 5. We'll be at 1. We can't even force. That's dire. Dire ducks. Perfection. I want to do this now. I'm not going to mess around. Just want to get it off the table. Okay, and now we can attack with confidence. I really wish I could have played this out, but you have to prioritize getting broadside off the table. I won't be able to force because of this. They drew another one, so yeah. Vial taking up is probably not a problem for this game. It could be, but like I think the more serious thing is the fact that they're down to 3 cards in grip. They have another broadside. We're seriously screwed. Okay, wow. We were not going to force anything in this game, apparently. There's a broadside. Is this broadside? 4 mana. This is that guy that throws stuff at you. Oh, it's just Ringleader. Yeah, I wish I could counter him. He's going to refill the hand. Let's see what they flip. Another broadside. And a Bogart Trawler and a Seer Slicer. I don't think we win. I don't see how we win here. Seer Slicer is a 2-drop. They have haste. We're dead to broadside next turn. Nothing we can do to stop it, unfortunately. The only win that could happen here would be us ripping a bolt for broadside and just holding it. But they can deploy the Seer Slicer as well. We do have to attack here. If we attack, there's like still a tiny prayer. Bobble could rip a bolt. I'm going to go for it. I guess I'll see what they're drawing. There's no point in seeing what we're drawing. We're either dead or we aren't. We have to attack. Drawing a dud. All right, let's go in, and we just have to find a bolt. It comes down to that. And it has to be a lightning bolt. It can't be a chain lightning. Yeah, I'm just like counting. There's nothing else we could have done here. All right, let's go. I'm going to assume my opponent, with all their many goblin finishes, knows that they have the line of just throwing that at me. Okay. So, a Braid most definitely comes in. Great card against them. Hydro comes in. I think that's it. I don't really see anything else that comes in. In terms of cards that aren't good here, I don't think Daze is spectacular. Well, I think Force is like particularly bad. Because at least Daze we get like some tempo ability here. Force just seems terrible. I mean, Daze is pretty bad. Maybe I'll cut a Daze too. These other cards are fine. Let's do it. Grafdigger's Cage does stop Muxus's ability, but you know that you still have the giant Muxus attacking you. This hand fills up the yard. I like the Wasteland. It's not bad, and I think every card is going to matter here. I'm just going to go ahead and like bobble to see two different draws. I think it's extremely unlikely we get to do anything to interact. If they put a Vial out, it's okay. We can bounce it later before it gets too high. I'll go ahead and take a look at our top card and see whether we need to shuffle it away. I want to shuffle that away. I'm glad I did that. Play this out. I'm going to cast this. Go ahead and look at their top card too. Sure. Ringleader. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just surveil now, I think. I can wait till the trigger's on the stack. So we already know what it is, so I can just grab... I'll grab... I guess I can Thundering Falls because we are looking at a fresh card. Yeah, I'll Thundering Falls here. We have an opportunity to really fill up our graveyard here. I'll keep creatures. I'll keep a Force. Just in case. I don't think it's likely. We're likely to see a Force. I am snap keeping that. It's already nearly delirious. All right, we got a land, which is unfortunate, but it's all right. You can't always have like the perfect 2 or 3 lands and nothing else. You do draw lands, and that's why Brainstorm's in the deck for later. That's incidentally why you don't use your Brainstorm too early. All right, what is this, Vial? Yeah, it's Vial. Okay, we will bounce it later. Right now, I'm fine. So I think what we do is we just drop the Chandler, we see what they do, and then we can... Oh, Hydroblast is good. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play out a land. It makes sense to hold the Strand for later because we are going to probably use both of our mana this turn. So I'll play her out, and then I'll just chill. Because Bolt really does need to go at opponent's creatures. It can't really go at their face. I think trying to aggro out the aggro deck is probably a mistake. I mean, we do want to aggro it out. Like, the game gets better for them as the game advances, but if we can stop early creatures, that's totally worth it. It's worth noting that even though we can't stop the Munitions Expert, we can Hydroblast or Bolt with him on the stack. Double red. So this doesn't do anything until the end step, which is great for us. If you attack this turn. Okay, so they're not even going to be able to attack. But I am going to still Bolt. And I do think it's correct to Bolt here. Just make efficient use of our mana. We're going to hit that Cavern next turn. They are putting something in. What could this be? They're going to sack it? What are they doing? Oh, Mog Fanatic. Haven't seen that in a while. Well, yeah, that we still get the trigger, but we did lose our yeah, this is a 1-for-1. That's fine. So far, we've handled 1-for-1 all the things. We have gotten a ton of selection. That is going to stay. That is a creature that can currently not do a lot, but soon it will. I'll just hold it for a turn or two. I mean, it's coming in as a 4/4. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. So what I can do this turn is waste, and then I can bounce this. End step. I can actually bounce it now and just force them to replay it. Do I just want to drop the Merc now? I think the risk in doing that is that like they could have a Pyroblast. I think I wait and... Is there any merit to waiting? I don't think there is. Well, let's see what kind of... Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to buy some time here. This basically buys 2 turns. It sets it back by 2 turns. We are a tempo deck. So we can Merc next turn, and then the subsequent turn we can Brazen Borrower, and we can have Hydroblast up to protect our Merc. They have a land. They have that Vial that they already had. Okay, cool. And we're like running pretty low in terms of cards. This Merc's going to have to do a lot. Oh no, another land. I do want to shuffle this back. However, I can't shuffle. So I'll play this out, and I'll just hope to not have to use the Hydro. Blue, blue, Merc. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I need to take another type. I'll take the DRC. I mean, I could just leave the DRC for future Delirium purposes, but I think the artifact's the most important. Yeah, again, if we manage to somehow draw a Brainstorm, I'll be so happy that we didn't like play that Volk. But if we have to use the Hydroblast, it's unfortunate. Okay, they're surveilling. Baltic's up. Don't have another Caverns, please. I'll blast basically any value thing they put on the stack, like a Matron. I'm going to blast this. I'll get an island this time. Again, I don't think it's likely they're playing Bloodmoon, but they could. And now it's not a big deal if they are. All right, 3 cards in the grip over there. We basically are on empty, other than we've got our aerial assault that's going to hopefully race them. That's all we have going for us. Please don't draw a land. Okay, this is not terrible. So I'm just going to attack. I'm going to hold the Chain Lightning for a threat later. And then we're going to plan to deploy the Borrower in step. I'm not going to play with this land. Munitions Expert will not kill, but it will kill my Borrower. And they can probably imagine that Borrower is coming out this turn. If we find another Merc, we're going to potentially have 2 additional power we can put on this thing. So we'd have like a 6/6 Merc and a 5/5 Merc, which would be remarkable. Playing the Bog, opting not to wipe my graveyard. Pro play. Okay, 3 mana. This is a Matron that I said I would have loved to blast. We cannot blast her. Please don't grab Munitions Expert. I really want to put my Borrower into play, but I won't if they just have a face-up munition. Oh, Sting Scourger. Yeah, that does it too. Okay. Sting Scourger is going to bounce this out of play. They even have the mana to pay the Echo cost. And we're not back to square one because we can Chain Lightning the Matron, and we can still hit them with this, but it's a lot of our mana has been taken from us. We were going to hit them for 7, and now we're hitting them for 3. Delver. Is Delver worth playing out here? I think I'm just going to Chain Lightning the Matron. This doesn't have any abilities. It's just a 2/2. This, they have to pay to keep it, so it dies. Maybe I Chain Lightning them and ignore these. Is that too brazen? I think we just have to hold the Delver, sadly. I don't think it fits into our plan. If we want to redeploy Merc, and I think we do. I'm going to go ahead and attack first. I am going to go ahead and... If I Chain Lightning them, they could have Broadside. Broadside, it could like throw this. It can't throw it in time. They would have to pay for it. But it could throw this. And this could kill my 6/6 Merc. It's going to be a 5/5 Merc. Yeah, I think I am going to go ahead and just remove material. I know that seems cowardly. They can't currently bounce it back. All right, now we have to play out this land that I didn't want to play out, but we need the mana. Sting Scourger, just too good in 2025. I love that card. It's very balanced and it's fun, which I like. So I don't imagine they're going to keep Sting Scourger alive. We're definitely threading him on multiple axes. This Delver is not going to finish the job. I have very little confidence that he'll flip in time to be of consequence. We probably win now or we don't win. Opting to level up first. If they don't pay the Echo, I'll feel really good. Because like they basically paid 2 mana to do nothing. It looks like they are going to pay it. Which begs the question, what are you doing over there? I think it's probably Broadside. But Broadside won't necessarily save them. We have a lot of life. They could attack us for 4 and then throw. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that makes sense is them having Broadside here. There's Broadside. So we attack for 4, we throw at the Merc, and then Brazen Borrower has 2 swings to kill. And I don't think it was correct to like go after the Sting Scourger because they would have thrown. I now seeing this, I definitely feel it was correct to bolt the Matron here. All right. Okay, they're choosing to kill our Bombardier. Interesting. So they're just going to take 5? They don't have a way to kill our Murktide currently. I don't know that that was the correct play. We are unable to currently deploy our other Murktide. I'm just going to drop this Delver, but this does represent like an existential threat to them if it flips. It'll fly over anything they have. There are a lot of things they could have here, like the Sling Gang Commander or whatever. Let's see what they're putting in. Okay, this is ridiculous. I think we just lost because they refill their hand. Goblin Matron, Dropkick Bomber. I've never even seen this card. And another Goblin Ringleader. They got so much value off this. It's ridiculous. Till the end of the turn, another Goblin you control gains. When this creature dies, when this creature deals damage, sacrifice it. That's ridiculous. They do have the mana to play this out. They are gated on what they can do here. Delver basically has to flip. This is where we'll see whether having a higher density of sorceries and instants in our deck comes to our aid. We could also just rip a bolt. So we've used 1 bolt, 2 bolts. So we have 5 bolts left in 43 cards. That's not terrible odds of drawing a bolt. But if they can figure out a way to like kill both of these, then we're in a pretty rough spot. And, we can cast another Murktide, but I don't think it's going to matter as long as Broadside can keep throwing stuff. The Murktide will be a 3/3. Yeah, I mean, this game has gone like pretty well, all things considered. Maybe it is an unfavorable matchup with the Vials and the Caverns and Broadside just being a ridiculously powerful card. Yeah, maybe it's not favorable like I thought it was. I will say that I don't think what we're playing right now is any less favorable than the rug version. I love that art. The flavor art is, when they ran short on cannonballs, they went for the pots and pans. Very on brand flavor win there. Okay. Are we dead? Did you figure it out? We're going to take it. So Dropkick Bomber, is this a new card? I've never seen this before. Other goblins get +1/+1. I think if they were going to play this, they would have played it first. Oh, they're playing it now. They could have gotten extra damage. Target goblin you control gains flying, and they can use this as a blocker. Okay. So they can throw a goblin up in the air basically and block. They should still kill our Murktide here though. Yeah, and they do. So another target goblin you control. So they could throw their okay, there's a Goblin Lackey. That's very scary with all the value, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, we're dead if we can't kill them this turn. And we can't kill them with just a conventional attack. We need to draw a burn spell or a Hydroblast or something. All right. At the mercy of the top of the deck. Let's see it. They are keeping us in suspense. My goodness. How many seconds do we have to wait to see what the result is? Wasteland. Good game. Yeah, Murktide isn't going to do it. We're super dead. Like, it would be foolhardy to bother sinking any more time into this game. Yeah, good games. Let's go to round 2. All right, we are up against the trophy leader themselves with a hand we cannot keep, but we're on the play at least. I think they say same when you say this. This hand's fine. We actually do have card advantage and predict, and we can know what our top card is if we're patient. This hand is fine. I don't want to dig any deeper. I'm going to... The mulligan as well. I think we could put back the Chain Lightning. I think it's probably the lowest impact. Yeah, I'm going to put it back. And we're going to try out the predict. We're going to do the thing. So turn 1, I want to go ahead, just in case they're playing like Chalice of the Void for 0 or something. I don't think it hurts to play out this Mishra's Bauble. My daughter is laughing uncontrollably at some silly YouTube video she's watching. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and ponder here. We don't know. I mean, what we're looking for... Delver is action. I don't need this Misty, but it's nice to know it's there. So I'm going to stack like that, and I can take the Delver next turn if I want. If we play this out, it tells them what we're on. Right now, they can only speculate. They might think we're on Sneak and Show or something. I think I'm going to chill for a turn. Am I putting too much stock in this predict? This has just been a mid-late game card. Maybe I'm playing this wrong. Oh, no. They're back on this. All right, well, we're dead. Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize. I'm going to concede. No, I'm not going to concede. I'm going to show them that I'm on Delver. All right, so our opponent has Thoughtseized us. They know what we're on. They're Dark Ritualing again. Is this the end? What? 3 Dark Rituals. Entomb. Okay. So they're going to Echo. We're going to get a new hand. There's no point in us playing out this bauble. It's actually interesting that they took the bauble of all things. I guess they just like, it doesn't matter. Okay. We wheeled into nothing. They still have 3 mana going. This is Black Saga Storm that they're on. If we get a turn, we're not like totally screwed, but it's not looking like we're going to get a turn here. They are probably just going to wheel again. Good news is our deck does have lots of interaction. Pyroblast can stop the thing. It's not great. We can take out like a lot of our bolts and stuff because those are creature spells, and if they're playing any creatures, it's probably just Bowmaster. Guys will under the Mox. So they're now representing oh. Well, I can force them to use this. I do think that's correct. Force them to use their LED. Probably won't matter. Okay. They're getting blue. So now we're going to spin again. They're just going to go get the thing. But we did force them to use their LED. Actually, they don't have the mana to spin. Face down card. Is this just tendrils? Yeah, it's just tendrils. I guess it didn't even matter what I was doing there. I didn't think, because sometimes like these types of decks don't have tendrils in the main. I think they always have tendrils in the main. I don't know. Okay, so post for it. Force negation comes in. Grafdigger's Cage does technically stop them from being able to do the thing. I think we can kind of upgrade our consigns come in. Yeah, I'm playing 3 consigns, so these are good. Cards that come out. I think all of our bolts come out. I'm gonna keep our threats in. Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence in Bolt being able to close the game here because like they still had tons of life at the end of the chain. Grafdigger's Cage just shut off that one, or shuts off them being able to cast stuff. Oh, actually, it shuts off the guy's will line too. I think it's worth bringing 1 in. Yeah, I think this is how we roll. I'm going to keep the predicts in for science. I'm not sure that is correct. Yeah, we've got all our threats in. We're just basically slimming down a little bit. Yeah, I probably should have brought in the Pyroblast. That was probably a misplay. Okay, this hand feels fine. I'm going to just keep, and then I'm going to Volk Ponder. They don't generally have soft permission. I think, actually, like, I don't even think they have any forces or anything. I think it's all just maybe Vial. Maybe not even Vial. And the reason I didn't look this player up is, you know, they're always on a different deck now that they're the trophy leader. They can just do victory laps all day because they work very hard to grind their way to the top of the leaderboard with Oops All Spells. Which, if you want to grind your way to the top of the leaderboard, that seems like a good deck to play because you can do like an entire league in like an hour. All right, let's go ahead and ponder. There's the second force. I'm going to put that in hand. I don't really want either of these lands. I'd rather have the Tarn because it represents the surveil. All right, double force. Show me your moves. You have Cabal Therapy. Bogart Bog, shocked. Bolted, rather. Pedal. Thoughtseize is going to take one of our forces. That'll probably be the end of their turn unless they have a second Thoughtseize, in which case we weep. But the good news is the Thoughtseize is only taking like... okay, they did. They did have it. No big deal. Just completely trading my hand. They're down to 3 cards though. LED. Okay, now they refill. Okay, they had like an insane hand. What is this last card they're putting under here? They're just dropping it. They're not even going to amber it. Okay, I see. Gosh, what a beating. Double force. This is turn 1 for them. Turn 1, they were able to get through double forces on the draw. It's insane. All right. Well, we did rip more forces, but it, you know, they may have ripped more, who knows? I do think the play for the turn is probably waste and chill. Double force up. We can restrict their mana a little bit. We don't have anything else going on. They may have Urza Saga in their deck, and we'll have a second waste for that. That's a good rip. I'm just going to hit. All right, and we are ready for them to go ahead and, you know, Thoughtseize us a bunch again. 8 cards in the grip. Do we consign an LED? Bogart Bog, shocked. Bolted, rather. I'll get used to saying bolted. Unmask. I mean, they 2-for-1 themselves. I think we let this happen. We've got lots of action. We've got a good hand. I think I'm going to just waste the bog again. And as long as we can keep them from wheeling, they're not going to go that high up in cards. They probably have 3 more in the deck. 3 more of the spin card. Echo Vions. Some lists, like the Epic Gamble, play the Burning Wish, so they have one on the sideboard. Here's the LED. I think this is a consign. I just don't want to mess with it. This could be a mistake. Okay, they're passing, so I don't feel it was a mistake if we got a turn out of it. Okay, DRC. We're not delirious. I think we chill on DRC for a turn, and we just waste them again. They're on 0 mana, 4 cards in hand. We still have a force. We still have days. The reason I didn't play DRC there is because of Brainstorm. Just in case we need to desperately find some interaction. Now we can play her. Okay, this is great. I'm just going to go ahead and play her, and then I'm going to go ahead and try to get her delirious off this ponder. Is that correct? I think it's correct. I'll just get another Valk. We don't have any cards we want to put back is the thing. This can go in the yard. I don't need more lands. I think this is shuffle. These aren't bad cards by any means, but we don't have any cards we need to brainstorm back. There. That's what I'm talking about. Double days now. I feel pretty good. I think we can beat them. All right. They're passing. I can brainstorm to hopefully get her delirious. Third days. I'll take it. So we don't need any cards off this. We're not going to put anything back. That gets her delirious. Right? She's delirious. Now we're going to be swinging. Okay, I'm going to put these back. I'm going to play out the Scalding Tarn. Now I have triple days up. I can fetch instep if necessary. DRC attacks on her own. I don't even have to click on her or anything. It's so nice. It's not nice when you need her as a blocker. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what they could possibly have that could top this. I'm going to go get the surveil. But Delthar, don't ever count Delthar out. Delthar is ridiculous. That is yet another insane top deck. All right, we're just going to chill for a couple turns with our hand full of permission and beat them down. 2 more swings after this. They do use their life totals as resource as well, so yeah. All right, they scoop. I'm going to reveal my hand. It doesn't give any information, just to show them Okay, I think we keep Pyro can come in. Pyro's really only good against that one spell? A Braid, if they do have Bowmasters in their list, a Braid is good. Pyro just hits that one spell. I haven't seen any other reason to play it. And it doesn't pitch to force like these other cards. I do want to keep the DRC. We could bring in a Pyro in exchange for Grafdigger's Cage. However, I like just being able to drop Grafdigger's Cage and not have to hold up mana for Pyro. I think I'm going to keep it as is. All right, and we're unlikely to win this because they're on the play and they're an incredible player. But we do have a really strong hand here. We have DRC into Mishra's Bauble, double force potential. We can't actually force twice. So I'm going to think for a minute, and then I'm going to keep it. All right, we're keeping. We're just going to accept Thought Seizes, all that stuff. Unmask, that's fine. We've got a great hand. Their pitch for Unmask is Academy's Awakening. It's a card that they will probably never cast, but yet another shock land. There are, I think, 3 shock lands of every color now, or bolt lands of every color now, which is why we're seeing a rise in Oops All spells. They can have really good mana without having any lands in their deck. They could have a second interaction spell, which would be pretty bad. They took the force. There's the LED. I'm not going to interact with the LED. There's the Felmire bolted in. I almost said shocked in. I'm getting over it. I'm getting over the old reflex. If it was 20 years, there were shock lands. Entomb. I'm going to let it happen. Is there some sort of juke? No, it's just Echo. All right. Brainstorm is the card we needed. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and fetch. I'm going to get the clock going. I'm not going to flinch. We've got too much value going on here. And if you think this is over aggressive, please leave a comment with a timestamp. I'm going to cast. I'm going to take a look at their card here. That goes in our graveyard. Yeah, it goes in our graveyard. This game is not about us amassing lands and stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look. Beseech. Yeah, Beseech is notable. All right. And we're going to pass with Daze and Force Negation up. Hopefully this is enough. We get a card. Is it a blue card? It is. So one of the reasons to pitch the land there is we're almost certainly going to have to Daze something here. Okay, shocked. Oh, they're just passing. This is great for us. I can waste this. Keep them low resource. I am going to keep them low resource here. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the untap one. See what they do. I'm just going to come in for a hug. I'm going to hold up consign. I don't think it'll matter, but it is yet another thing we can potentially do. I can brainstorm later. Yeah, we didn't have a way to get Delirious there other than brainstorm just getting lucky. And I think I'll hold this for later. They could have Bowmaster in their deck. I am going to do the rare instep brainstorm here because I'm low on mana and I want to find more wastelands. I think that goes in the yard. It's not the fight. Oh, wow. Okay, so Thundering Falls goes in the... We'll just draw this consign and we'll fetch away the falls. There is a chance that we get Delirious here. Is it worth it? I think I'm just going to swing. I'm going to keep my mana up. I don't know what it's going to be used for, but like just in case we get in a situation where consign is important, I want to have it. And I can surveil instep. It is scary giving this many draws. Like this is how they win. Okay. All right. Thundering Falls. Find a creature or... we have so many of these. I think we put it in the graveyard. I really want to find something else here. Like a ponder or something would be great. Wasteland would be great. Predict. Predict is insane. We can do this on their turn. This is just an instant. But we get to see the card, so we definitely get it. I just want to hold up consign. I'm just going to be super duper conservative here, and I'll just do it during their turn. I know we're like barely even moving our game plan forward with these tiny little chips. I just don't want to get caught off guard by something that, like, if they had a second LED, like, I definitely would consign it. All right, let's do it. This is what the card is in our deck for. This exact situation. I'm going to target myself. Okay, we're going to leave it there. And now we name Polluted Delta. I have to type it, I believe. Okay, we mill it, and we get 2 cards. So good! One of which is Wasteland. All right, that's card advantage in Delver. You don't see that all the time, do you? All right, I'm going to go ahead and cast this first. This does not give us Delirium yet. We're close. This does. Graveyard. Okay, I'm going to check their top Thoughtseize. Okay, that's good to know about. Let's take away their ability to cast it, shall we? I feel like we're firmly in the driver's seat, but, you know, bad things can happen. All right. So we have to survive 4 turns. We get a card. It's a Volk. Volk does give us Hardcast Force Negation. All right. They're passing yet again. Our mana denial strategies work great so far. And our strategy of just drawing a ridiculous number of cards. Okay. So I think, I'm trying to think if there's any reason not to just attack first. I'm going to attack first. Then I'm going to brainstorm, and I want to shuffle away some of these bad cards. And Final Wasteland. I will not shuffle away if I find a Wasteland. This can go in the graveyard. Oh, we don't actually need a Wasteland, so I am going to shuffle these away. These are blue cards. I think it's fine to keep them around. I would like to have the Wasteland for later. I don't really need this many blue cards. I'll put back a Borrower. I've already got one, and it doesn't even necessarily do anything against their deck. I'll play this out. I'm going to shuffle. Let's grab a Volk. A Ponder. What are we looking for here? We're looking for more forces. You can go in the... this doubles our clock, but I don't think it matters. What matters is force, and that's what we found. So we don't want this ever. If they somehow deal with our DRC, we'll be glad we have a force. Our opponent has got to assume that we have like everything, because we do. We don't have a full house like we do last game with the 3 dazes and the force. But we do have a very strong hand. And if they play a one-shot land, we're going to waste it. And they'll be able to take something, but we're going to waste them. They may have Dark Ritual, which I will daze. There's a Petal. I'm just going to let that happen. I could consign it. There's a Mox. I'm going to let it happen. They put Beseech under it. There's the Thoughtseize. I'm going to let it happen. They're dropping to 2 strikes from death now. They can't shock into land anymore. Or bolt into land. They could have like Veil of Summer or something that we haven't seen yet. Okay, they are just passing. I can bounce this out of play next turn. That might be worth doing, just to further restrict their options. I'm not sure that that's a good play. We do know our top card is a land, which we don't want. I'll go ahead and go to combat first. I'm not going to play out this Murktide. I think the play is to bounce this out just to reduce the amount of mana they can produce. And we still hold up one. Play this out. There's no reason to hold it. Okay, we can put this land in our yard. Okay. I think we've done everything we can. It just comes down to whether they have somehow managed to assemble the Avengers over there. GG's! We beat the top player in the world. One of the best players ever, in my humble opinion. And you can see 24 freaking undefeated trophies. I have 5 for reference. Now, granted, they may play a lot more than me, and also they play probably better than me. But it just goes to show, they're on the very top of the ladder here, along with the likes of Easy Money Marksman, James Gasal Larson, who won Eternal Week in Europe, Vaulted Form, who is I think, Oops player. A lot of these people are Oops players. Grindstone Cowboy, Harain, who is a mostly Stifle Knot player. Yeah, lots of really good players up here at the very top, and then you go down really far and you see me. Somewhere, oh yeah, be excellent right there. I'm maybe the 30th best player or something like that. So, all right, let's go to round 3. And by the way, you could say MTGO, technically you can have as many at-bats as you want. What you could do if you have a lot of money is you could just play, and whenever you lose, you just scoop. And I think I actually know somebody from San Francisco who's a software engineer and very wealthy, who just does that. And that whenever they play a league, they'll just scoop if they don't win the first one. But I actually play all my leagues. One of the leagues that I didn't publish because it was kind of sad. I lost the first 3 rounds, and I was okay, at very best, I can recover 50 of my play points. You need 100 play points to do a league. And I was just you know what? I've never, I think there is one time where I was 0-4. And if you're 0-4, then you can't get anything. And I think I just was so disappointed with my brew that I decided not to play it. But I played it and I won out the other 2. I still didn't publish it though, because I don't think you all want to sit through me losing 3 times before I start winning. So if you're cool with that and you're not, but according to the YouTube metrics and stuff, once they start losing, people start losing interest. But some of my best matches happen after an initial loss. If you watch the bug control or bug tempo video that I recently published, the first match I get wasted 3 times, and I'm not playing any non-basics, or I'm not playing any basic lands, and I just have to stoically sit there and be yep, they've got another wasteland, they've got another wasteland. When you play 3 colors that are as color intensive as what I'm playing, you have to just be open and available to getting wasted repeatedly. It happens, and don't get tilted. And so I played through that, and then I just completely crushed both of those leagues. I didn't trophy, but I did really well in both of them. So if you watch that and you were just cringing when I got wasted, consider giving it a second view, because there's some great matches in there. Okay, so we're up against Joe L. Joe L, almost certainly on Omnitell. Okay, does this hand sync Omnitell? I don't think it does. I think it's way too slow, especially on the draw. I'm going to mull. This is also super slow. I don't think we want to go deeper. I mean, Wasteland does carry some water, but yeah, Wasteland Days, I mean, it's some interaction. I don't think we go deeper. I'm going to put back one of the lands. I think I'm actually going to put back the Volk, because that way, we have the option of fetching a basic island, because we don't really need the other, and then they don't know as much information. But if we play Delver, then they will know something about our deck. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I'll put back this land. Hope that they're not on what is it? Energy, or the one that suppression field where you can't fetch. That would be bad. Okay, they're moxing. Interesting, they're playing this in Omnitell. Could be a sign that they're not on Omnitell. Okay, Limdul's Vault. Yeah, that's an Omnitell card. All right, they're going to Thoughtseize. They're going to know that the coast is clear, and then they can go off over the next few turns. And they're also going to know we're on Delver. And they're also going to know that they should fetch a basic. So yeah, Thoughtseize is incredible right now. And it's definitely my main deck that I've been playing is Blue-Black Tempo, but I'm playing this to spice it up a little bit, because I don't want you all to I don't want this to just become the Blue-Black Tempo channel, even though I do like that the best. It suits my playstyle best. Wow, they don't have any land. Okay. That was aggressive. And they're down quite a few cards here. right, so I'm just going to chill. I'm not going to show them I got Brainstorm. I can fetch Surveil at the end step. Or I can just fetch, get an island, and, daze something. But I don't think they're going to play into daze. They might have more Thoughtseizes coming my way, in which case okay, there we go. I mean, so my instinct is to just daze this. It gives them card selection and potentially finds them a land. Yeah, this might seem extreme, but if we can have 3 more turns of them just sitting here not doing anything, I'm here for it. You keep a hand with 1 mana source, you get dazed. And I'm not going to get a perfect Brainstorm here, but I am going to get something. I'm not going to chill and do nothing. We can fill up our yard for Mercs. Murktide 2 is going to go back. That's the card we put back. I can just draw through these baubles. It sucks, but it's not the end. I'll put this back. I'll draw it. I am going to Delta to fetch away that other Merc. I mean, we could actually Merc next turn. Oh, they have a land. They slow rolled it. Now they're brainstorming again. Okay, well, I'm going to waste that. Oh, I can't waste it because I've got a Merc. All right, we're going to take a look at their top card with Bauble. I'm not going to Merc this turn, by the way. Let's see if their top card's a land. I mean, they could have just put a land back. I don't want to draw this other Merc, though. Emrakul, okay. So I now am genuinely afraid that they could just show and tell us next turn. I think it actually is correct to just draw the Merc. Yeah, that's sad, but I do want to waste this land. I don't want to get Merc. I don't want to get Emrakul. I'm just going to go ahead and cast it. I'll use it during their draw step. Actually, I should use it now to maximize likelihood of finding a daze or a force. Yeah, I'll just do it again. I already know what my top card is. It doesn't matter. Okay, and our graveyard is fat, and we're 2 turns away from Merking, but Merc won't end the game quickly. Merc is going to be a 4/4, 5/5. Not spectacular. And I can fetch Surveil. So I'm not completely dead in the water, but I think Mana Denial is the way to go here because they kept this hand on the strength of something. They just have Ancient Tomb, we're dead. Underground Sea, okay. We did find a Ponder here, which is better than a Surveil. They could have their own dazes. I'm not sure what well, let's take a look at their list. Do they play daze? I do not see daze in here. I see Entomb, which they can Entomb fatties as well as they get an Idrisil, Omniscience, Ripples of Undeath, which is a cool kind of card draw engine. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, 6 monsters. Okay. So I mean, my instinct is to just ponder and see if we can find a force or a daze. Because we don't see daze in their list, so there's not really a reason to keep up mana. Okay, double force. I am here for this. All right. And so we're going to be able to force 2 times in a row. They've got 2 cards, one of which is Emrakul. So they need to have land, show and tell as 2 of those 3 cards. If this is a cantrip, I'm just going to ignore it. That's fine. I'll draw this force, and then I'll shuffle away the last card, and I'm going to go ahead and stick a Murktide. So we will go down off of double force. Okay, they can surveil here. All right. So it's worth noting that because we have 2 forces, it doesn't matter. We can deploy this and still, still be Thoughtseize resistant. I seriously doubt. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to prevent them from a Blood Moon type effect, which I don't expect out of their deck. I'm just gonna get the red. It doesn't matter. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And we'll keep Delirium. 5 card types. Excellent. Actually, we don't have Delirium anymore. But we're not far from Delirium. If we force, we'll have Delirium again. All right, 6. So we're 3 swings from death. So we just got to fade 3 things. Thoughtseize. What is this? Okay, they're doing it. I would like to force that. Do you have your own force? No. They can't have their own force in that hand, and because we know they have an Emrakul, they haven't shuffled that. Please be blue card. Yes. And I can surveil too. I'm going to do that. And if they have a Thoughtseize, that's a bummer, but I don't know that they're going to be able to assemble another show and tell. They've only got 4 in their deck. If they bounce this back to hand, it is a setback, but we can still win with it. It'll just take a couple extra cracks. Ripples of Undeath. I think this is fine. We counter what they find off these. I mean, They're 2 swings for death, which means they're only going to get to use it once. Surveil. I'm looking for, Wasteland wouldn't be bad. Valk is not what we're looking for. I'm so glad I put the surveil in here. Like, I know Delver, it's kind of like against what you're supposed to be doing, having lands that come into play tapped, but it's been really good for me this league. That's a Wasteland. I will just go ahead and attack first, just in case we need to recast. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So we'll swing, and then we'll just waste them off this land. Okay, Ripples of Death triggers. We're going to see more of their hand. Creepy Skull with like extra eyes. Shielded and One Ring. Those are good cards. Yeah, so we're learning a little more about their deck, and I'm definitely getting the vibe that Chain Lightning is not going to do a lot in this matchup. Yeah, we got it. Okay, cool. All right. That was a very comfortable margin of success. Pyroblast coming in. Force Negation definitely comes in. Gravedigger's Cage, they do have a reanimate strategy. Shallow Grave. Put the top card of your creature into play. 4 Shallow Grave, 4 reanimate, or 1 reanimate. I mean, it doesn't stop this Yggdrasil, unfortunately. That's cool art. I haven't seen this art for it. Because they're in exile. Ripples on Death. It does not stop this because it's just being targeted. If it was like Ground Seal or something, it probably still wouldn't do this because it's not targeting. Do they pivot into a stronger reanimate? They don't seem to. This is our list as of 2 weeks ago. I think it's probably representative. Okay, so cards that are coming out. I think Chain Lightning comes out. I think Bolt comes out too. I just don't think that's where we want to be, bolting their stuff. I think we want to max on blue cards. Consign is good. They're playing One Ring. So we've got all our permission in. Do they play any problematic permanents? I mean, this destroy target artifact 3 mana or less. Let's see. Just destroy target artifact straight up. I think it's probably okay. This can get creatures. It can't get any creatures they're playing. All their creatures are too fat for that. Do we want to bring in a Braid? What will we take out? I don't want to take out the Predicts. I don't want to take out the Days, even on the draw. Yeah, I think we just leave out... we rely on Brazen Borrower. Again, the reason Brazen Borrower is so insane is it deals with any permanent, and it's blue. So you can always... I never board out Brazen Borrower. I'm trying to think of the last time I boarded out a Brazen Borrower. It was definitely not in 2025. This is an insane hand. It doesn't have a force effect, but it does have just an explosive start. And if they're mulling to respect our more broken starts, they're mulling. I'm going to keep this. And they have to probably do a protection spell just to be sure. But I am definitely in the market for, Valk into DRC, into Bobble, and then the subsequent turn, deploy the Delver. This is going to replace itself. We've got lots of looks at a potential force. We have 2 blue cards that we can pitch for forces. Chromox. We'll see if they turn 1 me. The Limb Duel's Volt again. That is a good card to put under Mox. Dark Writ. Okay, they're going to turn 1. Something. Is this Yggdrasil? If that's it, then I'm fine with that. But if it's something more... Okay. Lorien revealed. They're going to go find a land. Island. Okay, this is Show and Tell. Ripples of Undeath. That's fine. I mean, this is going to be very dangerous. We're going to have to hit them hard and hit them fast. They're down to 1 card, though. They went all in on this. But them milling stuff is actively good because they have lots of graveyard strategies. Or not graveyard strategies, but cards that feed a graveyard strategy. Okay, so I am going to... getting Tarn in my yard does speed up DRC, but I kind of want to hold it for a potential brainstorm later. So I'm just going to get on board the only way I know how with my Delver creatures. We're going to get this trigger. This will go in the yard. I'm just going to... it doesn't really matter. I do want to draw the card immediately. So we'll see what is about to go in the graveyard. Swamp. We'll pass. Days are our only interaction, but them... if they just Ripples of Death and they reveal lots of good cards... Predict's a great card because we can probably get deeper into our deck. What are they doing here? Limb Duel? This is an instant. Okay, Oh, they drew the swamp for turn. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I was like, oh. So what do they get back? Chooses Omniscience. Okay. We're cooking. All right, so we have the option of putting Delver on the table, which I think is not what we want to do. I think I am going to just predict here. We do have the option. I want to get this Delirious. No, it has to be Ponder here. Ponder like maximizes looks. Consign. Consign isn't good enough if what they have is Show and Tell. This is an instant for the yard, but we have plenty of those. Consign is an above average draw. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Power Blast is what we want. I want to put the Wasteland. Consign. Pyro. I may want the Wasteland. I want to play this out. We've got Daze and Pyro up now. Show and Tell is notably blue. So is Omniscience. And next turn we will be Delirious. So we'll be hitting for 3. I can mill away the Wasteland if they don't play a land. Otherwise I can keep it. Okay, they got Long Goodbye in the yard. They might take that back. Brainstorm Underground Sea. What are they doing here? Why do they... Oh, they're just paying the mana cost. Okay. They chose Brainstorm. Yeah, that's fine. So they pay 3? What do they pay? Yeah, 3 life. Okay. Yeah, I would love to just fire out the predict here, but we needed to be patient. Huh. I want to get Delirious. I don't actually have like a clear good way to get Delirious. I'm going to play that. I'm not going to play the Wasteland. I could just predict the Wasteland away, but that doesn't help me get Delirious. I think what I do is I'm just going to put a bunch of pressure on the table. I'll put one of them on. That way I can predict next turn and set up. Yeah, because I want to hold up Consign for 1 ring, and I want to hold up Pyro for Show and Tell. Yeah, I'm playing super passively. I don't want to play out this Delver just because I want to have predict up as an option. Like, I think we have plenty of pressure. They're not going to be able to kill any of these creatures, I don't believe. They do have Long Goodbye, but like... Okay, so Shieldred could come out. That would be bad. But we can... Okay, they're paying... Man, they're doing a lot of damage to themselves with this Undeath card. They've already taken 9 from it. They'd probably take Underground Sea here. They chose Ponder. I'm going to let them fire off their cantrips, do whatever they need to do. Dark Ritual. Show and Tell. I'm going to attempt to Pyro this. I'll go ahead and flip my Wasteland into the yard. They are forcing. All right. What can we do here? We can Daze. It doesn't do anything. I think I want to save the Daze. I want to try to consign something and then I can Daze. Gosh, I don't know what they're going to do here. It's pretty scary. Yeah, I don't think it's correct to Daze here. All right, I will just put another Delver in play. They have to basically win this turn. DRC's Delirious. They've got 1 card in hand. Gristlebrand. Oh no. Yeah, they can't draw. DRC has to attack into this. You can't, like, I don't think Lifelink is a trigger. Let me check. Okay, so Lifelink is not a triggered ability. So we're basically looking at, yeah, I'm just going to chill. They can draw if they want to, but they put themselves to basically dead. All right. Nothing we could do here. This is an activated ability, not a triggered ability. They're going to draw. I mean, a single addition, like if I've been even slightly more aggressive. So I'm going to consign this trigger. They can just stop it with a force. They can like actually pay for the force. Let's see, what do we have on top? We have Brainstorm. Brainstorm is above average. So the way we win this is we reveal Brainstorm, we flip these. Then we find exactly Brazen Borrower to bounce this back to hand. They are doing this. I still don't think it's correct to Daze. We're going to actually need all the mana, so we can't Daze. We have to Daze into exactly, or we have to Brainstorm into exactly Brazen Borrower. Then we get the Gristlebrand out of the way, and then they die to combat damage. We can concede. All right, we tried. All right, round 3, we're on the play. We did keep a pretty slow hand, so did they. Still don't see any reason to bring in a Braid. I think our 75 is great, as is. Seeing Shieldred doesn't change anything. We'll borrow it out if it gets in play. Let's do it. This is a blast hand. We can open DRC. We have a Wasteland. So the main issue is that we can't really do what we want to do here fast enough. And I don't want to hold up mana for Pyroblast the entire time. I'm going to mulligan this. This hand is better. We could put back the Wasteland. They're probably going to be fetching basics. I'm not going to count on screwing them. They kept 7. Yeah, I think we just keep this. And we put back... I mean, Murktide is a win con, but we can find a win con later. I'm going to just err on the side of stability. Like, Wasteland seems good. Yeah. I'm just going to throw this out first because I want to be able to shuffle off of a Brainstorm. If they play like a basic land, I want to be able to shuffle with the Wasteland. Shuffle the Wasteland away. Mox. Limb Duel every time. Ponder. Not going to stop that. I do suspect that mana is like a more brittle part of their deck, so if we can waste, we do want to. But like they can get a basic now. Yeah, I don't think we want to hang on to this waste, considering they can get a basic. Let's rip something good. All right. Yeah, I think we just hold. I mean, they can get a surveil trigger now that I played that out. Maybe I should have wasted. Or played the waste. But I'd rather them get a surveil land. Okay, they didn't get a surveil land. I think they're going to probably play on basics here. If we get a chance to punish them with Wasteland, we will, though. It's fine. Okay, there's a basic. There's another ponder. I'm just going to let these ponders happen. Again, we can stop their key spell, Show and Tell. I'm not convinced Ripples of Undeath is a good card, but it may be just if you have enough Reanimator, because it is a reanimation enabler, and it does have synergy with Yggdrasil, but paying 3 life and a mana just to draw a card, and you can't even do it immediately. You have to wait for your upkeep. That I'm not sure that that's great. I am going to go ahead and Brainstorm here. Just in case I have like a bunch of chaff, I can put some of it back. Like I think one of these Wastelands is good, and I do plan to waste this, but like I'm not sure that double Wasteland is good. They kept. Okay, so I think they're very close to the combo. Let's go ahead and Brainstorm here. And I'm doing this because we have a second Brainstorm. I wouldn't do this otherwise. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is... I do want to keep double Pyroblast. I get the sense that Pyroblast is going to be very good in this matchup. We can fetch, we get the Surveil here. I'm going to Surveil. I want to fill up my graveyard for either Murktide or for DRC. If we draw a DRC, we can deploy it. And we do. Fantastic. Outstanding. The best line in Highlander 2. If you watch that horrible movie where Sean Connery inexplicably comes back even though he died in the first. Spoiler for a 40-year-old movie. Okay, so I think here we are going to just waste. Just get it off the table. I don't want them to be able to like daze it back or anything like that. We are going to get our clock on the table. And we have 2 points of interaction. Hopefully it's enough. Hopefully they need another turn to set up. But Force of Will, being able to pitch, being able to Pyroblast in return is pretty strong. Dark Ritual, yeah. Okay, this is the spell. I think actually I should have probably just blasted there. I think that was a mistake. I'm going to put this in the graveyard. I mean, this is 2 cards next turn. But I'd have to tap off of Pyroblast. I feel like it's too good. I'm going to keep it. Hopefully they're going all in with a Force here. Yeah, and they are. And hopefully they don't have further interaction or else we're cooked. If I had milled that, I would have been able to mill a second card. I'm just going to leave it. They can't have Force Blue card as their last cards. All right. Feeling good. Okay. So it's totally possible that they have to have land. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. Maximize the likelihood of getting Delirious. That does make me Delirious? No. So, but it does help. Okay, so Predicted has come up twice this league, and we've been able to use it both times. So I would say it's pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with it. There's no reason to play out the island. I'm just going to play this out. I'm going to swing for 1, and we've got Pyroblast up. We're kind of vulnerable. Don't have another Surveil, unfortunately, but like very happy that I put that Surveil in there again. Much rather have a Surveil in than a Tropical Island. that is dead 90% of the time. Okay. Brainstorm would be great. Murktide is... it's a clock. I mean, I think we play it. It slows down this, but we've already gotten a lot of card selection. I think it's fine. I'd rather just be able to hit for, 8. Yeah, that's pretty good. I am going to max this Merc out. Blue. They use their life total as a resource, so the faster and harder we can hit them, the better. So let's go. I don't want to take the... Oh, wait, I do want to predict. Okay, how do I just undo what I just did? Okay, so predict, force, pyroblast, brainstorm. I am going to take the ponder. I'm going to full size this boy. This way, it's only 2 swings to kill them. The odds of them finding just another show and tell off the top it's rough because they're not playing the other really powerful card, Sneak Attack. So they have far fewer ways to get what they need to get to combo. I'm going to ponder first just in case. This does vindicate me for going all in on that Murktide because now we have a ponder type in our yard. Daze seems quite good considering their mana. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Wasteland doesn't do anything here. Delver is something we can mill. Yeah, so I'm going to take the Daze. I'm going to leave the Delver on top. And if they give me a reason to cast something, then I'll just dump that creature in the yard and we'll basically beat a Delirium. In case they can remove this somehow, that might be relevant. 7 life. They can no longer reanimate Gristlebrand. I don't think they can reanimate really anything. This is a show and tell. I'm going to start with a Pyro because Daze can counter anything and Pyro can only counter stuff like this. Let's go ahead and surveil. They scoop. Got it. We're beating the combo decks. We lost to the Goblins deck, but we're winning against the combo decks. Let's go to round 4. We're 2-1. All right. We're up against somebody who was likely born in 1980, which was my year of birth, actually. I'm a 44-year-old bastard. All right. This is an insane keep against an unknown opponent. We happen to be on the play, which is great too. I'm just going to drop the Delver and we'll see what happens here. But like, this is a very aggro hand. And one of the things about Delver is like, if our opponent is on some nonsense, then we're well positioned. I think I'm going to fetch an island just in case they're on like a Blood Moon strategy. That'd be very embarrassing. I don't want to have to force, and I may not have to force a Blood Moon if I have an island out, because I can still cast everything in my deck except for Murktide with an island. This also doesn't show that we're on blue-red Delver, but like, I mean, it's like the most common. Okay, so this gives me Storm vibes. The only deck I've seen play this is the Epic Storm. They kept... Okay, we have a good hand against the Epic Storm. Let's just hope that our Delver flip is generous to us. We can surveil to potentially set it up. I'm not going to reveal it. I'll draw it. It is a blue card for force. You know what? I'm not going to fire off this bolt yet. I'm just going to attack. And my reasoning is I want to be able to surveil to increase the likelihood that we flip this. I don't think they're playing Spell Pierce or anything like that, but it would be nice to have these up just in case if we need to force something this turn. I'll probably pitch Brazen Borrower so I can keep a second force. I'm really hoping that they don't have Veil of Summer, which is a catastrophic card. Yeah, my opponent is indeed a 1980 born person. I don't know what the noun for that is. Somebody, a child of the year 1980. Punishing Fire. So the issue is if I don't counter this now, I'm going to have to counter it next time. And it like really screws my deck. And this also changes the dynamic of what I'm playing against. You know what? I think I'm going to counter it. I know it sounds weird. If they're playing this, I don't think I'm going to have to counter a lot of their stuff. I'm going to force pitch force. Now I'll go set it up. So we get 2 looks. Being able to manipulate the top of your deck is very important with Delver. This is going to go in the bin. Come on. Don't punish me. I worked really hard to save your butt there, Delver. Don't deny me. No. Okay, well, we can do the Delver trick here at least and hopefully flip Delver next turn. If they're playing this, it makes me think maybe they're playing like some sort of creature pile. So maybe Chain Lightning will be better spent actually doing something here. I'm going to play this out. I do think I'm going to play at the Volk, and here's my reasoning. I can drop a second borrower and really get on the offensive if I need to. So I'll just bobble myself in the instep to see what I'm going to draw. And then I can do the Delver stacking trick if Delver's still alive. One reason to Chain Lightning them is they may actually have double red for too long. They do have double red. Oh no! I don't think we're going to win anymore. That sucks. Well, I haven't played against a Punishing Fire deck in a long time. So, yeah, there's nothing we can do here. And I don't think we play at the Brazen Borrower anymore because the same fate will await our Brazen Borrower. So we might as well just look at their top card instead of our own because we're about to see it. Expedition map. Okay, so they're on like some sort of lands deck, which is not favorable. But we do have Punishing Fire or Price of Progress, which is looking like it's going to be pretty good here. Okay, we draw a Daze, which is probably not good. Okay, so we are Delirious, out of reach of the wrath of Punishing Fire. If they're on land strategy, I think it makes sense to actually just play this out and hit them with it now so they can't use it against us later. We do get a surveil. We're like super duper Delirious. This is actually a really good card here. It's not great actually because we only have one, but it can help us win the game, and that's what we're looking for is threats that can help us close the game. So I'm going to hold on to it. Yeah, it'll come out as like a 5/5, 6/6 if we daze something. So it's not bad. It will take us off Delirium if we do that though. So we'll attack first, then we'll decide what to do. We can't ever take DRC off Delirium because if we do, then she's dead to Punishing Fire. Wasteland. That's not a card I'm too worried about. I'll tell you a card I am a little worried about is Life from the Loam. That could be a pain if they waste repeatedly. But, I mean, we're going to get on the board and we're going to try to win quickly. And if we don't, we don't. And we'll just go to the next game. And I think we'll be very favored once we have Price of Progress in our list. And I'm going to keep all the burn in this matchup. Probably take out the Dazes and just keep all the burn in and bring in like Hydroblast. Price of Progress is just like such a powerful card against these non-basic land strategies. It's like you're drawing to like an inevitable win basically, as long as they don't waste you completely off your mana. Expedition map is fine. They have 5 cards in hand. I'm envious. They've already 3 for 1 that's basically on that Punishing Fire. They can crack this map end step. I think we just make a 4/4. That way we can keep Delirium. No, we can't even keep Delirium with 4/4. It's just going to be a 3/3. We can make it bigger later. Draw another one. If they find like a Mazevith or something with this, that would be pretty catastrophic. Yeah, I mean a 3/3 Murktide. Does that take us off Delirium? Let's see. I'm gonna do a quick count. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. We can take one of these. We can take the Force, and it'll be 4/4. I think we can do that. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no. Oh no, we can't do it without losing Delirium here. We can daze the thing and then she's Delirious again? No. Yeah, she is. She's Delirious again. I'm going to take the lands. If they like Endurance or something, I don't want to be redrawing these. So if they do go to the trouble of regrowing the Punishing Fire, we'll just daze the Punishing Fire and then she'll be Delirious again. And yeah, we got a 4/4. I mean, it's a clock. Cracking the map. Tabernacle would be annoying. Holy cow, they got a Tabernacle. No. And now if we daze, she survives, but we don't have a mana during our upkeep to like pay for stuff. Discard Boseiju. Boseiju can hit non-basic lands, right? Yeah. Okay, there's the Tabby Cat. Please don't Punishing Fire my... I mean, if they do, they kind of save me a mana. But I definitely want to be hitting them for 7 next turn and not 4. Okay, it's back. Yeah, they're going to be able to kill it. And I can't do anything about it because it's dead either way. I'll just save the days here. Yep. That's sad. Hitting for 4 is better than nothing. I am going to pay with the... They don't have a Wasteland? Yeah, I guess they already played their land for turn. Please give me something to daze. I appreciate you very much. This is great. Yeah, like I was wondering whether daze was going to be relevant at all, and they just gave me a window to use it. Yeah, you always stop crop rot. Like basically, Force of Will is just a 2 for 2 against crop rot. If they find like a Ghost Quarter, then they can completely take this Murktide off the table. Right? We've got our Murktide still alive. Did we already use our Surveillian? We did. Still, this can't be wasted, and I think that is worth. Yeah, I'm gonna play it just by virtue of its unwastability. Best draw on our deck is probably a second Murktide, because then that'll grow this, and it'll also put a second one out that we can swing with. And we have the Valk. If they kill this somehow, I don't think we're likely to win with Brazen Borrower, just because they have the ability to keep punishing firing. They have another crop rot. What is this? Mulch. Yeah, that works. They don't have something that can put in multiple cards at the same time, which is the thing they're missing. This looks like a pretty standard lands build. I was just taken aback by the Punishing Fire engine, but I would be willing to bet this is like probably like at least 50 of the 60 normal lands cards. Okay, there's the maze. So we're looking for a wasteland very badly. Otherwise, we're not doing a lot. We're chilling. I'd still be very happy to find a second Murktide here. Oh, yes! All right. I'm going to do it. We still have some Volks left. We just have like a couple. Yeah, or we have 3. Yeah, we're fine on Volks. Okay, so we're going to go boom, boom, boom. And you are going to need several wastelands if you want to hold back my Murktide's Wrath. I'll leave a creature in the yard that's the hardest to get in there. Well, actually, Bobble is the hardest to get in there. I'll leave the Bobble. I'll take the creatures. Wait, what am I doing here? It's so hard to tell what I'm selecting. Okay, so boom, boom. I think I got everything but the Bobble. So this is going to grow the original Merc. And now we have a second Merc. And they're going to need another Maze of Ith if they want to stop this train. I will go ahead and swing. They're just going to daze it, but just in case they have like some sort of thing at the end step where they can produce mana, I don't know. So they got to take two of my lands away, or they got to find another Maze of Ith. They're not dead immediately. They have like 2 turns. If they don't waste us, we can deploy the Borrower, and then we can just tap everything to pay for them all. But that's like a 3-turn line, basically. Regrowing Punishing Fire. Maybe they have like Bolt plus that card. Double green in the pool. Endurance would be a blocker for a turn cycle. Mulching again. They're filling up their hand. Wasteland, Gamble, Urza Saga. Okay, Urza Saga is good. Gamble can go get another Maze of Ith. Oh, they had the other Maze of Ith already. Man. And then, like, Brazen Borrower just isn't going to get the job done, unfortunately. I don't think we can win anymore. And this eats so much clock. Tabernacle is such a pain on MTGO. But I'm not going to be complaining about lands players because I would rather play lands all day. It's much more fun and interactive than playing against Oops All spells and stuff. Okay, there's another thing, but unfortunately, it is not Delirious at all. I think we played out just a bide time. I mean, like, is it even buying any time playing it out? I don't think it's doing anything. Yeah, I'll play it out. Like, they can just wait. Yeah, if they don't kill it for some reason, that's good for us. Just going to attack all, and then I'll F6. This way, they have to use up clock, like, undoing it. I mean, they're going to force me to, take up like 30 seconds every turn cycle. I'm going to make them have to tap their mazes. Okay, they buy back this. We gain a life. Life is not important. The lands are important. And they did find a wasteland, so they could just waste this, and we had to sack it. So they don't even need to do the trick. Exploration. Okay. I think I've seen enough here. I'm just going to concede. Because they have wasteland in hand, and yeah. Just a matter of time before they find like a loam. Okay. So this is not the best matchup. It's not a nightmare, but we're going to have Price of Progress. And how good Price of Progress have been there? 1, 2. I don't think we bring in Hydro. I do think we bring in Force of Negation. Braid. Do we see any must-kill artifacts? Not really. I don't think a Braid's worth it for like Moxin and stuff. So I do think Borrower's exceptional here in that it can... Predict may not be worth it because we're not going to have mana available. I think we take it out in this matchup. I don't want to cut all our burn because burn is like actually a legit path. Like they probably don't have any life gain. In fact, I kind of want to keep all our burn in, but I want to keep our creatures in too. Probably the least good creature would be like a Delver. I think maybe we could cut a Delver. Murk is going to be harder to cast, but he can actually survive. Delver is always dead to that card, Punishing Fire. I don't think we keep Consign. We bring into Consign or anything like that. We could just cut the Delvers completely and keep the Predict in. But again, that presupposes that they're not going to just lay waste to our mana base, which they're most certainly going to do so. They have a 4 wasteland deck and they have recursion as well. I mean, I'm tempted. Yeah, I think we keep the Merc in. Yep, I'm going to do it like this. It sucks to keep days in, but we are on the play. On the draw, maybe we take out days. This is a decent hand. I'm going to open Bobble. Yeah, I'll Ponder as an opener. We're looking for Price of Progress. I'll lead with my island just so I don't get wasted. Let's go ahead and Bobble them first. I think it's possible that they have Endurance in their deck. That would certainly be a good card to have against us. I will definitely... Oh, these are... Okay. I don't want this Valk. I do want these cards. Yeah, because like land is going to be at a premium. If they have like a number of wastes, we want to make sure we have enough lands to... And we just want to make sure we have lands for the long game. Okay, so we drew the waste. So we're actually going to draw all 3 of those cards anyway. We're going to have a lot of land. Moxing. Scariest thing they could do would be Loam. And if they loam, I'm just going to let it happen and we're just going to try to live with it. Exploration. That is something I can stop. I'm going to stop it. Because loam, just like, they just explode. So we're drawing a bad card here. I'm going to get the surveil in. Yeah, we were pretty far away from Murktiding. I think it was 100% correct there to hit that. If you disagree, if you're like a seasoned lands player and you're like, no, it's not that important, let me know. But I think they're like one loam away from just completely cracking this game open. Not that we have good answers to loam. Unfortunately, we have a Force of Negation in our deck. That's it. That's the only thing we have that we can do against loam. I'm definitely going to waste this just to buy some time. That is a card that can run away with the game very quickly if unchecked. Generates a lot of value. Surveil. Looking for a DRC probably. We would not yet be Delirious, but we'd be close. Oh, yeah. I think we need to be more active than this. It'll suck if they do back-to-back Urza Sagas. But I definitely want to get some sort of clock on the table. I don't think waiting around for pop is a sole game plan. Okay, and we're rewarded here. This is great. I'm going to go ahead and hit this immediately. Sometimes you want to hit the actual land. They could pyro this creature that I'm about to cast. That is something that can happen. But I want to get on the board and do stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll keep. We'll do everything but the artifact. We've got sorcery type and land type eventually. Like it's probably a foregone conclusion that the land's going to be in our yard before too long against the wasteland deck and with our own fetch lands. All right, can we tempo them out with a 5/5 flyer? This is the pyro. Yeah, we couldn't do anything about that. Just had to get it out of their hand. Okay, and they did it precisely what I said, where it's like a risk that we're taking. They did have the backup Urza Saga. So we could just be like completely stalled out here. Best draw in our deck is probably a wasteland. Though we don't deserve it for abandoning our wasteland, forsaking our wasteland. Forsaken wastes. Holy cow. This only keeps us alive for 1 turn cycle. This is not the be all end all. And also, okay, they're going to freaking crop rot, which sucks. Oh, they're not? They're just floating? So we could chain lightning. They could chain lightning this back. It doesn't really matter. I think we wait because if we find a... my opponent said, why all the hate? You're a lands deck. Gotta be prepped for... Okay. And I misspelled prepped in my haste. But I don't want to run out of clock here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Can we find yet another wasteland off the top? That'd be fantastic. We don't deserve it, but we'll take it. Brazen Borrower is fine too. Brazen Borrower is both a solution and a clock. Delver, I think we have to go for it. I'm going to play this land. I'm going to drop the Delver, and we're going to hope. I think it's very likely that this gets Punishing Fired if they, have that in their hand, and I think we'll just lose. But I'm not going to scoop because we are drawing to Price of Progress, which may be just ridiculously powerful. We might even draw 2 of them. If Delver doesn't flip, we're not going to be able to attack here. They do have the Exploration. Who knows how much momentum we took from them by forcing the first one. They've just been making land drops. There's the Grove. If they have Punishing Fire, I'm going to be so tilted. But I think they're going to go ahead and make their dude first. So a high likelihood we're playing like 24 instants and sorceries here. Give us one. Brainstorm. Yes. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to attempt to attack, and then I can brainstorm to potentially find like interaction. I do think Hydroblasts are coming in, having seen that they're playing their own red elemental blasts. Taking the 3. I think I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to brainstorm. If I can find a wasteland, that would be huge. Pop. All right. We can put back the... we're going to put back this Chain Lightning. We'll keep the brainstorm in hand in case we need it. I'm going to put this back completely. I don't want to play that. And Chain Lightning on top. All right. Another Delver. Can we tempo? If they just have like the Punishing Fire and they can Punishing Fire both of those, that's going to be so tilting. They're doing it. No, they're just creating a construct. Okay, good. Constructs are okay. We can race constructs. We can't race the lifelink spear thing, which they may have. Maybe we can race it. I don't know. We'll see. They're not like a super artifact heavy build. It'll probably be hitting for like 5 because they'll have 4 artifacts. The exploration, a bunch of cards in. We might be able to find some narrow window where we can hit them a whole lot. And then we can also... And we have Chain Lightning as well in addition to Pop. But we can't really Chain Lightning because they're such a red heavy deck that they can just bounce it right back and kill one of our Delvers. So that is something to be cognizant of. I'm actually kind of worried about showing them the Chain Lightning because then they know to hold up double red. What is this? Mulch? Okay. They have lots of stuff they can do here. We're going to have to get lucky. They got Expedition Map instead of producing a dude, which is stunning to me. But it could be that they're going to put so much mana in that they can just double Tabernacle, Rishon Port. So Rishon Port thankfully doesn't stop Tabernacle like you from paying Tabernacle mana. Grove, Tabernacle, Rishon Port. So they got 4 cards. That was like an ancestral, like better than an ancestral recall. Whatever the next one is, Opportunity or something like that. Okay, there's a lot of mana. Cracking. What on earth are they going to get here? They don't actually have that many lands in play right now, which is kind of... they may get another Urza Saga. One important thing is they are tapping out of range of... okay, Wasteland. So I think they're going to waste me here, and then they're going to drop the Tabernacle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attack them. I think I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm here just to get deeper into my deck because I'm never going to have mana again until I pop. Let's go and brainstorm here. Oh, great. Okay, so we can have land turn after next. Wait, actually that might be too slow because they might be able to waste us again. So I'm going to put this back. No, wait, I can hold the land. I can draw the Valk. I can keep the Tarn on top along with the Chain Lightning. So this flips the Delver. And then we have 2 turns worth of land. So we got plenty of runway for Delver to run away with the game. They're going to hit here. I'm going to probably just Chain Lightning them when their shields are down with this extra mana that we're going to have. I think we're going to be able to win. All right. So upkeep, we flip. It doesn't really matter. Okay, yeah. I guess I'm going to pay for them both. It doesn't matter. Spend like a ton of time here. Come on. Okay. Yes. It does. To MTGO's credit, if you don't pay, they ask you twice just to make sure you don't screw up. Okay, we kept these. Now we flip the Chain Lightning. Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and go to combat here, and then we'll go ahead and bolt their face. I'm going to bolt the face and ignore the construct. I don't think the construct can get within range of killing us quickly. Drop into 10. Drop into 7. You and your fancy draw 4 over there. Me and my very primitive burn spells. All right. Just going to F6 through their turn. Save time. There's nothing I can do to interact. If they have like double waste, that's catastrophic. Because then I'm drawing and I can fetch and pop them. Hopefully they play out 2 lands and they're not lands that go away. Diamond. Even if they take care of one of these, it's not a big deal. They are now dead to pop. I still want to pay though. Okay. I think I pay for 1 and then I just pop them. Because they can port one of them. Yeah, I'm going to pop them. I mean, I could wait a turn. I think it's fine to wait a turn and go ahead and attack. Just in case. We get them to 1. Then they're like susceptible to burn. They're going to tap our land here probably. Okay, that's fine. Okay, they decided to do that. So they're still dead to pop. Buying it back. Okay, this doesn't matter. They do have the mana to flame this one out too. But we have a fetch on top of our deck and we have Price of Progress. Okay. Feels so good. I haven't done this to somebody before, like just straight up burn them out with pop. Maybe I've done it in a video, but like it feels so satisfying. There's nothing they can do. They're probably thinking they're in a pretty safe position too. Wow. Okay. Final game. Daze comes out for sure. We're bringing in the Hydros. Well, the one Hydro. I guess we only have one. A Braid doesn't seem terrible. Delver is just so weak to their freaking thing. It makes me just want to cut him completely. I don't know. It's a 1 mana card. I think we bring him in just on the draw. Like he's really weak, obviously, but he's weak specifically against that card. I didn't see any consign trigger targets other than the Urza Sagas themselves. It can destroy target artifacts, so it can destroy constructs. I think this is probably worth boarding in. They may have some sort of artifact that we can kill like Moxen. It feels really weak. But Daze is so bad. I think maybe I'll actually bring in Predict. Let's do it for science. Okay. So all we've done is we've taken out the Dazes and we've replaced them with 1 Hydroblast and 2 Price of Progress and a Force Negation. Seems reasonable. I don't think this is a keep. I mean, it's a lot of lands. Maybe on the draw this is okay. It feels really bad. I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, I'm glad I mulligan. So DRC comes down in 2 turns, but we have double bobble trigger when it does. They could just waste, and then we're just chilling. I'm going to put back Borrower. It is an answer to Merit Lage, though. I don't think we put it back. We could put back a Bobble. It is an extra look, and it's a draw. I think I'm going to put back Borrower, and we're going to hope they don't just turbo. They may not even have it in their deck. Like, a lot of decks don't bother with Merit Lage anymore. They just go, like, Urza Saga turbo. Yeah, there's the Urza Saga. I have to waste. I can't not waste this. This does give us another turn to potentially draw a land as well, but we're slower. And if they have Life from the Loam, which they haven't had by some miracle the previous games. Maze. Okay, that's good. I mean, if they're going to play lands, that's a good one for them to have early game. We can clear it later. We have Burn as a path to victory as well, so it's not like this is the end of the world for us. Maybe they're going to Crop Rot here. Deal. Get whatever land you want. Urza Saga, most likely. They're probably just going to try to turbo tempo us, but yeah, I mean, that could be a problem. Their hand might contain a wasteland. Maybe they're just not playing it out. Okay, interesting. So I think they probably have the card, the really good card, Punishing Fire here. They didn't play a second land, so they have a bunch of stuff in hand that's not land. I'm going to go ahead and play this out now and hope to find another land. Chain Lightning can go in the yard. I'm going to see what their top card is. I'll keep 1 for a DRC, but I need to get closer to land just in case they have wasteland. Rishodon Port. You know what? I think I'm just going to go all the way with these and just play them out. DRC will be Delirious pretty soon. Yeah, I guess I might as well have checked my own top, but I'm going to draw 2 cards in the upkeep. So we're pretty naked to Wasteland, especially that's the card I'm most afraid of. And I'm not afraid of, what's it called? Because I'm just confident they have it in their hand. Like you don't get Grovel Burnwills if you don't have Punishing Fire in your hand. So they're going to tap this down. I'll brainstorm in response, and we'll get deeper into our deck. Loam. Catastrophic. We're not winning this game. Yeah, and Urza Saga's back on the menu. I think pop into pop could do it, but like the second they find a Wasteland, we're so dead. It's not even funny. And they're playing Mulch. They have a lot of ways of finding Wasteland. All right, they're tapping this. I'm going to just tap it for blue. Brainstorm here. We're going to have to put these cards back anyway. Oh, we did find land. That's great. Card that is bad. These cards that die, I think, go away. Bye-bye. And they can just deploy another Maze of it. They actually have one in hand. So I'll redraw. Let's see. Oh, it's Delirious. I can go ahead and deploy it. I'm going to have to fetch a Valk to do this. It's not a big deal. Actually, I need to be fetching Valk because they can start shutting me off specific colors if I don't. So next turn, we have Brainstorm when they port us, if they do that. They might be able to find like a Bajuka Bog and nuke our graveyard, and then they can just Punishing Fire us. I like the idea of bolting this if they're going to create a second one. And that way we can just manage them. But they are going to have a construct every turn for the rest of the game. There's the maze. What is this? Mulch? Choke? Yeah, that's pretty catastrophic. Nothing I can do about that. There's like literally nothing in my deck other than this Brazen Borrower here, which can only bounce it back for one turn. Oh, and they can even use Rishon on port to tap. DRC, not going to be able to cast that. I'm just going to play this out and yeah, we'll just chill. We're looking for a Wasteland, but I'm going to concede. This is over. Yeah, like they had us so many different directions. They have Maze of It, or they have Life and Loam engine going. They've tapped us out. Yeah, that was brutal. All right, we're 2-2. Let's see if we can get the positive record here. And we were already paired in. That was fast. A lot of people playing on Sunday night here in the United States. Final round against an unknown opponent. This hand is perfectly fine if they're a combo deck. I mean, I don't like having all these DRCs, but we can, I think we can do better. Against an unknown opponent, I want this. This is a lot better. It's not exactly what we want. I'm going to put back Predict. Again, it's like a later game card. No, I'm going to put back Chain Lightning. That might not be relevant. No, it might be. I mean, it's always relevant in the sense that it can always hit your opponent. I think they're less likely to be a creature based on previous matches and stuff, so I'm just going to do this. So my opponent opens Thoughtseize. This looks like Reanimator, which is a deck that they played in the past. They've also played I think they're most likely on Reanimator. And is it blue-black Reanimator? No, it's like black-red all-in Reanimator, which is a better matchup than the blue-red because, frankly, it's just a lot better. Blue-red Reanimator, no shade, it's just not that great of a deck. Or black-red, in my humble opinion. Okay, so they already know what we're able to do. I think we just play at the island because it's known. If we play Bobble, they know what we drew for turn. However, Bobble does give us the ability to predict, so we can draw extra cards. I can just play a Bobble next turn, and then I can use it, and that way I conceal the information that we drew Bobble for turn. I like that. The other option is we play Bobble and just dig deeper and just neglect the benefit of Predict, being able to draw us 2 cards. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I think we need the information about our opponent, and I think we need to draw closer to interaction. Nourishing Shoal. You may exile a green card with mana value X from your hand rather than pay this. You gain X life. Okay, so this is some sort of weird like life gain deck, like False Cure. All right. Well, this is precisely the kind of nonsense that Delver is a top deck to deal with because it's very good at dealing with like just ridiculous stuff like this. Okay. Delver's great. We can set up Delver. We can actually even use the Delver flip to see what our top card is so we can predict. All right, they're not doing anything here. That's great. We can actually waste this, and I think we probably should. Just play a Delver and waste. When your opponent gives you a Wasteland opportunity and you're a Delver deck, you probably should take it. All right. They're unmasking us. That is fine with me. They're probably going to take the Brainstorm. They could take the Predict. We're not actually going to be able to use Predict. They took the Brainstorm. We can Surveil to set it up. Okay, it looks like we might just be dead here. Necro. Okay, they're a Necro deck. But why that March card? I guess to gain a bunch of life so they don't lose. Okay, how about it? And I don't regret anything I did because I didn't know they were on Necro. I thought, like, you generally do want to get on board. I thought they were a slower combo, but no, it's just good old boring Necrodominance with a few extra cards in there. So this, they're going to gain 12 life. Is that how it works? You gain 12 life? Yeah. Okay, so they get to Necrodominance again next turn, I guess. But they have to discard a ton of cards if they want to do that. Like, yeah, you get to draw a lot of cards, but like surely you've got more stuff you want to do than that, right? Because you barely even like drew any cards. Like you drew a lot of cards and you got a lot of card selection, but they had practically 5. Okay, yeah, they're going to kill this. That's fine. So it's like a shoal deck? Are they going to do like that soul spike thing on me? They are. Okay, we lose 4 life. They gain 4. This is interesting. I've never played against this deck before. My understanding is it was a deck in Modern for a while, and then like they banned something to make it not a deck anymore because Modern isn't supposed to be a deck like this. Like have decks that are. This isn't a turn 1 deck. Okay, so discarding a whole lot of cards. We're at 12. We draw a land, which is not ideal. I can Surveil, and the next turn I can Predict. I think that's the best I can do here. I'm not going to just blind Predict just to draw a card. I don't think that's the way to go. I want 2 cards. They're going to draw another, 20 cards. It's fine. They've already used 2 of their soul spikes. And it's an exile, right? Oh, yeah. I think with Necrodominance, anything that would go to discard gets exiled. Yeah. Okay. I just hope we have 1 life left so that we can Surveil and Predict, and then maybe find like a Brazen Borrower, which isn't even necessarily what we're looking for. I'm not sure. They may have some other card in addition to the soul spikes that deals damage to us. They only went to 4 here. They didn't want to go all the way down. They're fearing the bolt. That is a really cool little avatar, like this weird demon. Shilginger. So like they can't kill us with soul spike alone. They need something else. I think there's like Sickening Shoal is just for creatures, right? It is cool art. Another soul spike. Okay. We're at 4. What's your big finisher? Okay. Gain a bunch of life. All right. Interesting. I am going to Surveil, and I'm going to hope that they don't have something that does exactly 3 damage to me. Thundering Falls. Sure. Chain Lightning. I mean, we know what it is. We need to know what it is so we can predict. So now I can predict in upkeep. It doesn't feel super powerful. But let's talk about what we would be doing if we had the other card. Like, first of all, Predict is a blue card for force. It ups our instant and sorcery count. We have flipped our Delvers pretty reliably in this league. And now we're drawing 2 cards. So we're getting card advantage in a deck that rarely gets it. Questing Druid is card advantage for sure. Okay, so they discarded this guy. So they can resolve this guy next turn, and then we lose to that. I'm going to Predict ourselves. We're going to name Chain Lightning. We mill it. A Murktide would be okay. We draw 2 cards. One's a force. All right. It's a little late for the force. Ponder. Okay, so now we have to ask, like, they've got 17 cards left. They can't actually... They must have some other card that wins, but I'm not sure what it is. I am kind of tempted to just, like, see what they do here. We can play out the land, but if we ponder, there's a decent chance that, like, we don't find a blue card. It's unlikely. I think I'm going to ponder to settle my draw, and I'll just take whatever blue card is there. It's maybe greedy. Okay, we did find a blue card, and we found a bunch of stuff that we don't want, but we kind of have to take it now. But, yeah. I mean, we would have drawn Delver, and Delver actually might have been, like, a card that could end the game. And it could still end the game if they don't do anything here. I think we're just waiting to hit the fail rate on their deck, which I don't see how their deck could fail if they're literally drawing every card in their deck. Unmask. Okay. This is where that guy comes in play, and then we die to him. Yeah, this is it. Whenever you cast a spell. Okay, and now the last soul spike in the deck kills us, I believe. I think that's what they're going for here. So I'm just going to like play it out and let's see what they do exactly. We do have the benefit of seeing their entire deck here, basically. It looks like a pretty boring deck to play, frankly. I would have zero interest in playing a deck like this. No shade to my opponent if this is their cup of tea. I name as one. It's just a high mana thing that you never cast. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, if you enjoy playing a deck like this, I don't want to yuck your yum, as they say. But it's just like not my. So, I imagine they just have a bunch of Ancient Cellar spawns, and if you stop those, they probably just keep drawing until they find a win con. Okay, so what is good here? Force Negation comes in. We didn't see any blue or red, so there's no need to bring in the blast. Price Progress is irrelevant here. Consign can stop some triggers. I mean, it's like better than nothing. I don't know that we make any other sideboard changes other than bringing in a Force Negation. I think we keep everything in. We just have to cut something. Brazen Borrower can technically bounce the thing out of play, and that's a valid play if they, if they go all in with the Dark Writ and they don't have the mana to recast it. Do we see any non-swamps? Yeah, they have some lands that are also multi-face. I think that's it. I don't want to rip the they have so much life gain, but it's possible that we can like get them into a bad like where they finally do cast the card, but they have taken so much damage they can't fully utilize it. So I don't want to cut that. Predict maybe the worst card. Ancient Cellar Spawn does die. Let's see, can we get it? It's 3/3. Yeah, it does die to our bolts, so I don't want to cut those. We didn't see any artifacts. This has got some sick art, by the way. The entire Dustborn set has just insane art. I love it. I don't think Cage does anything here. His progress is not good. Yeah, I just don't see anything. I'm not convinced Consign's good enough. I think I'm going to cut a Predict, which feels bad because it is a blue card, but we've got 12, 18, 20, 20, 28 blue cards. I think we can afford to cut one. Going up on cards is not the big deal. Having the right cards is the big deal. Now that we know pretty much exactly what we're up against, I can say with confidence that this is a good hand. We've got DRC to kick things off, and we're just going to try to put them under a clock. 2 points of interaction to stop them, dark ritualing into it. They're mulling to 6. These Necrodominance decks are like super glass cannony, and sometimes opponents do just mull into Oblivion. So far this league, we've lost to Goblins, we've lost to Lands. And those are both decks that, and we've beaten the combo decks. So my expectation is that we can beat this combo deck. But, with combo decks, it's like an any given Sunday type thing. Like, sometimes they just nut draw. Sometimes they mull to 5 and they don't have early action. We could let them take this. It makes us more delirious. But then we do have to worry about... I think I let them take it. We're going to be dealing damage as quickly as we can here. Okay, they did take the force. All right, so now we know that we probably want to Daze Dark Ritual. Predict, not what I wanted, but it does work perfectly with this actually. So I think I'm going to just, if I predict, there's no way to get delirious. I'm just going to attack, and then we can desperation predict if we need to. There's no reason, these are all instants. There's no reason to do anything right now. We've already made a land drop. 4 cards in the grip. Nothing. This is where Predict really shines, and maybe we should have more Predicting. Maybe I shouldn't have taken it out. Why did I ever doubt you, Predict? Helping me draw 2 cards and get stuff into my yard. Okay, so we're just going to leave it, and then we're going to name Misty Rainforest, and we're dodging a bad draw. It's not a horrible draw, but ooh, Soul Spike. Dude, I'm not going to let you Soul Spike my creature. I have to. Okay, well, I'm going to get a new... I'm going to get 2 new cards. What did they exile for that? Core Trawlers? Wow, that's crazy. Can't see how that's good. Right, you killed my dude. Or my chick. So, it was Misty Rainforest. Let's mill it. And let's draw 2. Nice. All right, so we've got the land. I can brainstorm away these excess lands. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. See if I can hit something good. Looking for force. There we found it. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty safe. I'm just going to put the excess land back. Play this out. I mean, I could just go ahead and chain lightning them now. There'll be plenty of time for that later. I'm going to get a surveil in step. I just want to keep my brainstorm up just in case I need to desperately find, like, their desperate final volley of spells. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and surveil. How good was that predict? Like, getting rid of a dud and getting us 2 new. This is graveyard fodder right here. Best draw is probably a Merc at this point, just to close. We are not yet delirious. I am going to go ahead and play this out. I can just brainstorm to flip it later. Yeah, I think the aggro end step brainstorm is fine here. I'm not doing a lot. All right, we've kind of like hit their fail state. Like, they pitch 2 lands. They don't even have a third land if they manage to draw Necrodominance here. So I don't want this, but I guess I will draw it. And then, I can maybe DRC it away. And then I will just put a Chain Lightning on top because I'm going to cast it here. So we flip, just doing Delver stuff here, flipping our Delver, casting our DRC, surveilling away a land, getting delirious. You know what? Yeah, we could deploy a second Delver. Like, I kind of lost sight of the fact that it was in my hand. I'm just going to hold the... Oh, I don't really actually have any reason to hold anything up. I don't think it matters. It might matter. I might find out it matters in some tragic way, like a turn or 2 from now. Okay, they take 2. They can gain a lot more life if they want to. They've got like the shoals and all this other stuff that they can draw. I think I'll try to Delver next turn and just further amp the clock. But actually, I need to hold the Delver just to have 2 forms of interaction. That's a bad card, but yeah, I'm just going to swing. I'll play it out. Just have further interaction, just in case. I am going to continue to hold the Delver. Because this way, maybe we draw a Brainstorm again. We've used 2 of our 4 Brainstorms. I think we just have to let this resolve. Actually, do we let this resolve? Because this could be very bad for us. If this is Ancient Stellar Spawn, it's not a big deal. If they have like Thoughtseize into something. If we daze this, then they don't get the Thoughtseize trigger. If they have Ancient Stellar Spawn, we can just bolt it immediately. And I think the trigger immediately goes on the stack when they cast, though. I think I am going to actually fire the daze into this. That goes to the yard. We're uber delirious. They pay. All right. What's it going to be? How dead are we? If they necro here, I can force and then I can bolt if they fight back. Gosh, I think we just have to let this resolve. I mean, if we force this, it does stop them from being able to do stuff. I'm going to force it. Call me crazy. They've got 1 mana floating. They're like super dead next turn. Yeah. Okay. I think that was correct. Yeah. And we would have had a force on top, which is nice, but yeah. Pressure. Putting them under pressure. Like David Bowie and Queen. Predict is so good. I kind of want to bring it in. It's a great, like, doing nothing, dirtling type card. Like, I've got nothing going on. Maybe we cut 1 Chain Lightning. All right, final game versus Glass Cannon combo deck. Force of Will, Daze in the grip. Wasteland's probably not relevant. We have Ponder to find more action. Chain Lightning dead here unless they have the creature, but I'm going to keep this. Let's see how deep they mull. They're keeping. Terrifying. Yeah, if they get the Cellar Spawn thing out, like with the Dark Ritual, and I can just bolt it, that'll be so satisfying. All right, we're going to waste that land. Actually, I think we're going to stick a Delver here. Gosh, it's hard. We waste this land and they don't have a follow-up, and this is like their sole initial black source. It's so powerful, but if we play a land, then we have Daze up anyway, and we can get Delver going, and I think it is important to get Delver going. Yeah, I want to do that. All right, Delver's out. We go to clock up. I think it is important, and Delver experts chime in as to what I was supposed to do here. Unmask. We can't do anything about that. They're going to take the force, and then Daze may or may not hold the fort here. Yep, they have the freaking land. If they have the Dark Writ. Okay, they don't have the Dark Writ. Such a relief. All right, can we flip a Delver? Yes, with the best card possible. My goodness. Brainstorm in the house. I'm going to go after the land here because I have the Daze. I'll swing first. they want to like soul spike it and pitch half their hand, they're welcome to do so. I am going to go after this. I want to shuffle away this land. Well, I can't actually shuffle away the land. I'm not going to shuffle away anything. These colors are all fine. Chain Lightning is the worst. It might be relevant. It is a 4th type if we find a DRC later. Okay, great. So you're telling me there's a chance, I think is what people are what you're supposed to say in this situation. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and come in for a hug first. A very buzzy hug. Sickening Shoal. That is fine. I'm not going to interact with that. That's a 2-for-1. We already did some damage to them. What do they pitch? Fell the Profane. That's a land? Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to ponder here. No, I can just hold up Brainstorm. And I can potentially borrow... if they do get Necrodominance out, I can borrow it back to hand. Shock. Bolt. No. No bolt. All right, so we didn't really do anything with our turn cycle here. Our hand is so good. I can put back this Chain Lightning. I need to find something proactive. I'm going to Brainstorm. Okay, and we found something proactive. We don't need either of these lands. So I'll put these back. And I'm just going to go ahead and get the Thundering Falls now. Just get it out of the way. You don't want to draw that off the top of your deck. Like, never save surveil lands for later. It will always just find a way to the top of your deck and drive you crazy. This is another land that we don't need. Graveyard. We're looking for spells here. Preferably of the Force of Will variety. Okay, so my instinct is to just go ahead and DRC. She is not yet delirious, but I'll ponder, making her delirious. And we're looking for force. And I can play this land if I don't find a wasteland. If I find a wasteland, I want to hit that bog. All right, I don't think we need a second threat. It is a blue card for force, but it's just unnecessary. I think we can go all the way with DRC. Am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I want to do it. Okay, now we're definitely delirious. We were going to be delirious anyway. Predict is great here. We can just stack these DRCs, and we can predict one of them away. Actually, we can take the second DRC, and we can play it now. That is seriously restricted. No, we can't. We can't play it now. Do I want to shuffle this? I think I'm fine with shuffling it because we could come up with the force. We'll probably just come with the fetch. Let's shuffle. Oh, that's not great. But that is instant speed interaction here, and I'm going to play this land out now. We do have them dead in like slightly fewer turn cycles now. I am really worried about them having it though. Okay, they have 3 mana now. Cabal Ritual. Please put the guy out. We can wait until they do it, and then we can instant speed bolt them when they attempt to do something to gain life. Those are all instants. Gosh, what do we do here? They're all free spells too. I think we're dead. They pay the life and they draw the cards all as one thing. I don't think you can bolt in response. I'll attempt to. Let's see how much they pay. No, if we go ahead and bolt now. Okay, so we can Chain Lightning now and reduce the total number of cards they draw. They'll still soul spike the heck out of us. No, we can't Chain Lightning. This is their turn. I just saw it was main phase. I had like a weird thing going on there, but we could wait till a soul spike is on the stack, and it might be their only one. It's unlikely that that's the case. They've already used one. Wait, they use Sickening Shoal. They have 4 soul spikes. They're about to draw 16 cards. Let's do the math. This is not something you can do in paper. Obviously, you can't just like get out your phone and use a probability calculator. But they have 49 cards left in the deck. They are about to draw 16. The odds of them finding 2 of them. Okay, let's check 2. 39% chance. If they don't have exactly that, I think we can win. Because they do the first one and they put it on the stack and then we just bolt them. So they have like a 39% chance of survival if they go all in. And if Soul Spike is the thing that they do to us. They're going to 1. Oh, they can gain life with the other card too. I'll wait and see if they put like the life gain thing on the stack, but they can probably just do more than one thing with 17 cards in their hand. I'm going to attempt to bolt them. I think this is our last chance. If they gain a bunch of life, they gain a bunch of life. They may gain life in response. Mana value X from your hand rather than pay. Yeah, there was nothing I could have done here because they would have just done this in response. So they're going to gain 12. I think I do still bolt them just to get the surveil. Importantly, they are not bolting me here. But then they could have that other creature from their hand, Ancient Cellar Spawn, next turn. That is worth keeping because what we can do is we can wait until the end of second main and bounce it back to their hand. And yeah, I'm going to keep this. Okay, so they dropped to 10. Now they go back up to 14. DRC's dead. We have no pressure whatsoever. I don't think they can win, though, this turn. I think we are going to get a turn. Soul spiking us. So they did draw more than one soul spike. So that math, they did hit the 30% or the 40-ish percent. It's a shame they're not going to tap out for anything. But if we bounce with bounce Necro and they don't have a mana for some reason, then we can daze it on the way back down. All right, 33 cards in their deck. We just have to stop that one guy who's almost certainly coming out next turn. I'm tempted to just bolt them and then we could do this multiple turns in a row. What are the odds that they have a land? I think we do want to bolt them now. No, I mean, that could be a mistake because they play that guy, Ancient Cellar Spawn, and suddenly we're dead. I think I'm going to go ahead and pass and just hold this for Ancient Cellar Spawn. Yeah, I think that's correct. Life gain is not important. What is important is stopping them from winning. And currently they've already spent so many of these that they're going to have to Cellar Spawn to win. So we could potentially, surgical extraction on force. That does cost them 2 life. That's fine. It doesn't affect us currently. It is worth noting that they had that in there, but they can't actually hit anything in our yard. They can hit... No, everything in our hand is not in our yard. So I have to hope that, like, even though they have all this life gain and stuff, that, like, at some point we can do damage to them. So I'm going to set stop here at the trigger still goes on the stack, so they can still play it out in response. We can't. There's not really a window where we can bounce it out and then they can replay it. If they have another land, then they just have it. Okay, so I have to do it now. They can replay it. We can daze it. They have the Dark Ritual. Yeah, we can't stop this. This is so bad. They're going to be able to just do what they did, like, again. Yeah, we can't stop it. We're not going to attempt to. We'll hold the daze just in case there's, maybe a window later. Yeah, they knew about the daze, so they knew to, like, hold it. I would love if I've, like, misplayed this somehow and I'm not just helplessly flailing. If there was something I could have done here, please let me know in the comments. Okay, they're gaining 12 life. That's a lot of draw for next turn. They can't cast Ancient Cellar Spawn. Okay, so they're going to Soul Spike us, but if we can find another bolt, we can stop the Ancient Cellar Spawn. There's another one. So this is as low as they can get us without the Ancient Cellar Spawn. I don't think they have a way to kill us other than this, right? They've used all 4. 1, 2, 3, and they used 1 right at the beginning, didn't they? 4, yeah. So they have to get the Cellar Spawn out, and if we can find a bolt, we can stop that. 21 life though, and I wouldn't be surprised if their hand was just like nothing but Ancient Cellar Spawns. At this point, they're probably just holding them. They're probably also holding Dark Rituals to be able to play around our dazes. What do we draw? We draw a Strand, which does not really help us, does it? I think bolting doesn't do anything. I am going to play out this land. They know we drew it. We can just do the trick again with bouncing with Brazen Borrower and hope that they don't have another Dark Ritual, but they do. If they Ancient Cellar Spawn, they're going to need a Dark Ritual to Cellar Spawn. I can just wait till end step. If they get it in play, they can immediately win if they have enough stuff in their hand. Like, even if we put the Brazen Borrower on the stack. So we just have to hope they hit a pocket where they don't have a Dark Ritual. And Daze somehow becomes live. They're unmasking here. So what we can do here is just use the Borrower. I don't think it's worth, like, holding it. I'm going to give them the Chain Lightning here. I don't think this mana is going to matter. I'm going to bounce this back to my hand so I get selection. Now that if they want to take our Chain Lightning, they have to pay, and then they may not have mana to redeploy for a turn, which doesn't even really matter. We had to find a wasteland. Okay, they're paying. Okay, so now they can take our Chain Lightning. But we do have these borrowers safely over here if they start to run out of gas. But like, I don't think they're likely to run out of gas. This is Dark Ritual, and now they're Necrodominancing again. But they don't... Oh, they're just playing this, but they can kill us now. They just need like a card. Okay, so this is a 3/3. You can just attack and kill us over 2 turns. All right. Do we want to fish the thin? I'm going to hope to rip a Brainstorm. I think we actually do need to bolt now. And it kind of sucks because we play at the Thunder Falls. I don't want that. I'm going to put that in the graveyard. I think we just have to hit this, and then that slows them down a little bit. They may not have another one in their hand, so it may take them another turn cycle. We can't deploy these Brazen Borrowers. We're hellbent. They know it. They can just deploy the thing and draw a bunch of cards. There's the Necrodominance. Now they draw a bunch of cards. They can gain a life and do a bunch of other stuff, but they are running low on cards. But I imagine they still have a few Cellar Spawns. They probably play like 4 of them. Maybe they play fewer, and we can work our way through them. Okay, they just drew a few cards. They didn't draw all of them. Okay, wow, they just went straight to cleanup. I think they have a Cellar Spawn, and they're going to try to deploy it next turn. Best card is a Lightning Bolt to deal with Cellar Spawn. With how low we are, I'm kind of tempted to fetch the Thin just because Brainstorm isn't going to be putting anything back, but it does show us some additional cards. I'm going to be disciplined here. Delver is pretty bad. I don't even want to play it out. I'd rather just play these out at instant speed and keep the mystery. But I'm pretty confident we're dead. We're like maybe like 3 or 4% to win. It has been a brutal league. Surgical in my days is fine. That would be a card that would be dealing 2 damage to us if Ancient Cellar Spawn were out, but they do get to look at my hand. Now they know like the path is clear. Got 10 cards in their deck. It must be a deterministic win from here. Cellar Spawn. Yep, and kill us. Do it. I've only got 1 minute and 38 seconds on my clock. X equals 12. Good games. Yeah, I'm disappointed that we lost to that. I'm not sure if I mispiloted, but it felt rough. But one thing I don't believe is that Predict is bad. I felt like Predict was pretty damn good. All those. Not sure why this is showing is not having 4 of them. That's a weird like bug. Add 1. Okay, cool. Got rid of that. Okay, so here's the list. My thinking is Chain Lightning wasn't bad the entire time. There was never a situation where I was like, oh, I really wish this Chain Lightning was Unholy Heat. I just, at some points, just was feeling the fact that like this is, a deck where the game goes longer and it gets further away from you, and you really have to close quickly. And I think that there were some matches where I could have been a little bit more aggressive, and I chose to like be slightly more conservative and cover a few more lines. And I think there was at least one game that I lost for not being sufficiently aggressive. So don't take my gameplay of this deck as an indictment of the deck. The fact that we could just not have to worry about having green cards in our deck, and that we just always had blue cards. Like if you look at the blue count, it's really high. Let's take a look at the pile view here. So the deck still maintains a very low curve, but we do have Brazen Borrower and Murktide, which can win even through Chalice. The blue count is much higher than the version that has, I'm just going to put them all in a big pile here so you can see the sheer volume of blue cards. 27. That's a very healthy blue count. And we still get to play a lot of spot removal. We still get to play the best 1-drop in Legacy. We still get to play the 4 baubles. In terms of 25 instances sorceries. So your Delvers are going to flip people. Like if you're annoyed that your Delvers are not flipping, they have like a 1/3 chance normally. Here, I'll show you the math. Okay, here's the odds of flipping if you have 25. 41.7. Pretty good. Here's the odds if you're on like 23, which I think is more typical of current Delver decks. It's like 38. So it's like a 3% difference, which does add up over the course of a league. It's probably at least one flip that you'll get that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten. And some people play 24, just if you're curious, that's like 40% exactly. So 40% exactly is the heuristic, and then just remember that it gets like basically 1 or 2% better for every additional sorcery you put in, and about 1 or 2% worse for every sorcery you take out. And that's one of the reasons why like I really want to max on instant sorceries. We are only playing 18 lands, but we never felt that. We had perfectly fine draws because our deck is so low to the ground. Thundering Falls was amazing the entire time. It'll be hard for me to go back to not playing Thundering Falls. But if you're playing the rug version, then you do necessarily need to play a trop here, and you can't go below 4 red sources. It's just reckless to do so because you don't want people to waste you off, such an important color in your deck. So I do think that there's definitely merit to just keeping it simple, and you will occasionally just draw the trop, and it'll basically be an island that can also be wasted. And sometimes Questing Druid comes out, and it's amazing, but a lot of times it's really just like you're just using the front side of it. But I will say we didn't really get a chance to cast a Braid, but it seems like a good sideboard card. I think it's better than Meltdown right now. I think playing the third Cage is probably better than playing Surgical, although had we played that Surgical, that could have come up in the lands matchup. Surgical is very good against lands because it can get the life from the loam, and that is the card that you need to stop if you want to be able to beat them. Price of Progress was amazing the one time we cast it to win. And then, overall, had a great time. I like this deck a lot. Let me show it one more time. If you are looking for a simple, kind of pretty straightforward version of Delver and you don't want to have to buy a tropical island if you already own 4 volcanic islands, I do think Predict is a perfectly reasonable card to put in here. Now, would you ever consider going up to 3 Predict and then going down 1? Again, there are like really 5 flex slots in Delver, in my opinion. I don't think the second Brazen Borrower is negotiable. I see other people that are just playing 1 Borrower. I think it's so good that you want to play it. It just gets you out of so many binds, and it basically means that you can take all your bolts out and you still are not cold to different people siding in creatures and stuff, like normal combo decks, like trying to have a tempo plan. Brazen Borrower is really good at keeping you out of that, and Brazen Borrower pitches to force and all these great things. It's an additional it's additional Delver if you need one, and importantly, Brazen Borrower can flash in and block Tamio. If there's like a late game Tamio that's about to run away with the game, just put Brazen Borrower out there, and it's a good wall. So I think this list is great. I don't think this is as good as this list, which is what you're going to see a whole lot more of on my channel. The reason I didn't play this list today was I wanted to kind of change it up a little on the channel. So I'm doing it for the content. But if I had to go to a series tournament, I would definitely play this over Delver. I think this has a much better mid game, and I think it's got a better anti-combo game because rocking the 4th Thoughtseize. So definitely don't take this as an endorsement of Delver, you should definitely be playing Delver. I think the best tempo deck may very well be Delver, but I think the best all-around tempo control-y deck is probably Blue-Black. So those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it. I will say one last thing. I did play a league with Blue-White Stiflenaut today, and it did not feel good. I paired into 3 Karnforge decks, and Kozilek's Command just incidentally removing your threat that you spend a bunch of resources to get into play does not feel good. And I think, it was pretty miserable actually to play. The Stifles did nothing against them. The Daisies were pretty bad. I think Stifle is not well positioned right now. I think the amount of Stompy in the meta is so high that you don't get a lot of value out of Stifle. And a lot of people might say, well, just play Consign. I don't think Consign is even as good as of a card as Stifle. I don't think it's main deckable because against what would main deck Consign do against this deck, right? It would do nothing, right? So I genuinely think that you don't want to be playing main deck Consigns, and that is a hill I will die on, as they say. But I do think that Predict, again, very impressed with this card, and I'm hoping to play some more leagues with it. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.